Well, hello. Hello, everybody. How are you? Hello. Hi. Welcome to the latest episode of the Airplane Show. My name is Greg. I'm going to be your internet pilot on this here episode. And I think tonight we're just going to fuck around a little bit on Microsoft 2024. There's now bush trips available. I want to see if the DC-3 autopilot works, so we may do a little bush trip action with that. We might jump in airplane we don't fly too often, maybe mess around on that. Tonight, I'm being lazy. Yes, I don't have to work tomorrow, but we are going to be using the Xbox controller. Tomorrow when I fly, we will be back in action with the flight control unit. But yeah, man, right now we just going to get ready for this thing here. Let me go ahead and play our little intro first. Let me get that little intro. All right, hang on one second. I can tell you this new AI helper that Say Intentions has is freaking amazing. So I haven't used it in about a week or two. So they now factor in your add-ons, which is awesome. GSX, scenery, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I just leave it on regular smoothness, which is like, you know, right there. I don't do balance. Oh, you know what? Usually I do balanced. Well, we'll see how smoothness goes. Usually I do balanced. But yeah, here's the settings that it came out with for traffic. Here's everything you can adjust in the simulator to help depending on what your system is. I mean, this is a great, you know, I don't have to worry about GPU-Z and what was that other thing we used for a while? Auto FPS. Auto FPS was okay, but it wasn't working very well anymore. So, all right. So let's go ahead. I think what we're gonna do, let's check out one of these here bush trips. I'll put the sound on for the game in a minute. It's kind of annoying, that music. So we do have bush trips available, and I really want to check out. Yo, what's up, Scalebait? I really want to check out the DC-3, and I'm just very curious if the autopilot works now, because it didn't work for a long time, the autopilot. So let's do this New Zealand historic flight. Let's try like the first leg of this thing. You know, I mean, the whole trip's only like an hour. But yeah, the golden age of flight. Hey, that sounds familiar. That's what we had last night, the golden age of flight. We were pretending we were Pan Am's finest. In 1947, this route was taken over by New Zealand's National Airways Corps. NAC flew the first. Man, it's amazing that airplanes flew that long ago. It doesn't seem like it should be that long. All right, let's I think we'll be okay. I don't know how this is going to interact with Chase Plane. We'll find out here in a moment. I'll put the music on. I mean, the sound on here in a moment. Come on, Microsoft. Oh yeah, the engines are already started. That's cool. So we don't have to pump the engines or anything. I mean, pump the hydraulics. All right, let me see if oh, I got a little screen tearing here. It's gonna fuck me up tonight a little bit. Let me turn VSync on in my NVIDIA settings. Maybe that'll fix it. Wait 1 second. I knew I shouldn't have turned that bitch off, but Say Intentions said turn it off, so I turned it off. Yeah, I'll have this fixed here in a moment. What? No way did it change all this back. That's got to be wrong. I'm gonna be real mad here in a moment if this is. We're gonna have to go into the settings and check this out because I changed a lot of the stuff. What did I just say I was looking for? Oh yeah, VSync. Let's see here. Global settings. Let's see here. Max frame rate. Here we go. Vertical sync. Okay, that's on now. Hang on. Let me just go into the pause menu here. Yeah, Captain Buttersworth. That's funny. Yeah, oh, sure enough, it. Holy, do I have to go through all this again? You son of a bitch! Fuck my life. Alright, well, at least you guys can see how I do it. Shit. Alright, well, let's turn the music off for the game. Fuck me, man. Alright, so these should all be okay, these NVIDIA ones. Let's go to MSFS Graphics. Alright, so terrain level of detail, 120, and then OLD is 125. You gotta be kidding. I know, I changed all this before I went on tonight, and I saved it too. That needs to be on high. This is off. These are on high. These are on medium. Those are on low. This is on 125, I believe. Yep. Frame generation's on. VSync is already on. Texture resolution. Okay, that's on high. Okay, we already changed the terrain pre-caching. Volumetric clouds, let's put those on high. Alright, glass cockpit refresh rate, that's on medium. Alright, buildings, we already changed that. Alright, terrain shadows, 256. Shadow maps, that's correct. Contact shadows, let's put that on low. Alright, trees, ultra, grass and bush, ultra, okay. Well, we'll leave them on high. I'm not going to do ultra. Oh, no, grass, okay, grass and bushes are on medium. Okay, I can deal with that. Alright, ambient occlusion, medium. Okay, so reflections is medium. Windshield effects. Alright, we'll put this on medium. Oh, never mind, we'll do that on low. Alright, light shafts we did. Displacement mapping is off. Seatbelt visibility. Okay, dynamic settings. Okay, anisotropic filtering, 16x. Okay, 16x. Motion blur and depth of field are both off already. Okay, let me just fix this down here at the bottom. So we're going to put this on low. We're going to put that on low. We're going to put that on low. That's going to be off. Because all the ground vehicles are going to come from say intentions. So we'll just turn all this off. Oh, you know what? Actually, we'll leave this on low. There. Okay, so that should fix it. Now, I know I really hope this new update that they came out with, I'm not going to have to do this every single time I get into the simulator, because that's going to really suck. Alright, let me now put on the sound of the game. And let's make sure we have a camera here, so pilot. All right, let's set our shortcut. You gotta do this for every plane. Shortcut. Bam. I think that button is saved somewhere else. Give me 1 second. I think that button is saved somewhere for something else. Let me see here. Yep. That's what I thought. All right, there we go. All right, excellent. So that's good now. Let's go ahead and make sure these are open. All right, let's make sure. There we go. Not sure which way is open and closed. Let me turn the words on real quick. Let's turn the words on real quick. Okay, so righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. All right, let's turn that back off again, and then let's go ahead and fly this bitch and see what we can do here. Can't believe I had to go through all that stuff again. That sucks so much. All right, mini-map and compass, an external view. Yeah, man, day was good, man. It was a long work day, but it was well worth it. It was a good day. Yep. Are you still out and about with parental units, or are you doing okay? Boy, I got a lot of screen tearing on here. I doubt you guys can see it, but man, I got a lot of screen tearing. All right, let's see here. So for... All right, so here's our... I don't know if I like it on here. I kind of liked it before where you could have two different... this is gay now. It actually puts the line. That's so fucking gay. All right. I wonder if the trip in California is going to be like that too. All right, let's release the parking brake. Let's start giving it some juice. Something's wrong. Let me restart this. Man, they made these bush trips so gay now. I can't believe that it actually gives you the line now, so you don't even have to guess anymore or pay attention to the ground. That's so dumb. All right, let's open these back up again. Open this up. All right, that's now open. Come on, bitch. Open up. There we go. All right, we got hydraulic fluid. That's good. All right, cross feed off. All right, brakes are now off. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get the game turned up a little bit more because I think the game is a little low. Give me 1 second. I think it's up a little too high now. Just let me add a little bit more limiter to it. Okay. Nobody ever said taking off had to be pretty. Alright, landing gear is going up, I think. Let's hit the brakes to slow the tires down. Oh, do I not have anything set for flaps? Hang on a second. This sucks. I don't like having to restart and stop all the time like this. Could have sworn there was something here for flaps. Let me see here. Yeah, O and P. What else do we have set for O? Hang on. Oh, that's just slew mode. And in photo mode. Okay. Nice. Are you making your parents sleep on the couch tonight? Alright, let's put our cowl flaps in trail mode. Let's move our hydraulic forward here. And we can try to put on the autopilot here. Oh, it looks like the autopilot's working now. Maybe not. There we go. Okay. Hey, the DC3 works again. That's awesome. Alright, so we're currently about 10 degrees. Let's get that updated here. Alright, that looks pretty close. No, that's not correct. Let's see here. Let's turn. All right, that's pretty close. All right, let's pull back our thrusters here. should be in the blue, just around the blue range there, if I remember correct. Let's pull our props back a little bit. There's no failures, I don't think, so I'm not too worried about getting these all the way down where they should be, but... Alright, carburetor heat, let's close up our cowl flaps. I'm not too sure what the pressure is outside. I don't think we have to worry about that in the simulator on these bush trips. Alright, landing lights off. Pitot heat. I don't think it's cold enough outside to really merit any kind of icing or anything like that. Alright, carb heat looks okay. Oil temperature looks okay. Alright, everything looks okay there. What about our fuel? Where's that coming from? It's nice to know it, you don't need to worry about the fuel. You know, you can just take off without the fuel tanks being on. That's good, Microsoft. Uh-oh, airplane's not turning anymore. You're not going to turn? Alright, I guess we'll just fly it by hand. It's what we've been doing. Maybe the autopilot isn't working. I don't even know what these points are we're looking at here. What are we looking at here? Where does it give us, That kind of sucks that it doesn't allow that the autopilot's still not working. Yeah, it should be working, especially with this. We got plenty of hydraulic fluid. Well, we'll do this leg and then we'll call it a day with this airplane. It's been so long since I've flown the DC-3, man. This is such a cool airplane. I wish they would have done a different livery, though. Like, instead of it just being, like, all white. Let's drop down in altitude a little bit, get a little closer to the ground. This is a bush trip, after all. So we really should be at, like, 1,000 feet above the ground. Let's descend a little bit. I am so thrilled that they have these bush trips again. And they have, like, all of them. The Hawaii one is really fun, too. You got a little gay pink airplane that you fly around Hawaii. Alright, once we level off again, I'm going to try to engage the autopilot and see if it'll turn, but it doesn't look like it's working still, the autopilot. They need to get these Sperry gyros fixed. The gyro is caged! can't believe they put all the points of interest on this map now. That is so dumb. Like, these bush trips, it's really supposed to be about using the ground to visually see where you're at and use landmarks from the nav log and calculate it by, you know, using like a chronometer and things like that. I can't believe they gave us the gay, and now it's, here's what it is. Just follow the pink line. Follow the pink line to GTA 6. I mean, to the landing, to the land. If you look over there, that's where Minas Tirith was. No, I don't. I always wonder what part that I guess I could look it up. I'm just too lazy to look it up, and I never think about it either. But like, I wonder what part of New Zealand they filmed the Lord of the Rings in. I know some of it was like in south, like the south part of New Zealand, but all right, let's level out here and try to put the autopilot on. See if we can turn. Now, see, I think that's just listing. That's actually turning the wrong way. Yeah, still going out to the left. I've tried caging this and I've tried uncaging it. It just doesn't. Like, you should actually be able to click on one of these dials, actually. But yeah, it's still not working. That sucks. I really would have thought that they would have fixed that by now. Alright, we'll just fly it by hand. Let's give it some juice. Everything's looking good with the cylinder temperature is getting a little hot. Might need to open up, let's open up the cowl flaps a little bit, see if that'll help out. We'll put them on trail. Let's see it, give that a couple of minutes and see if that helps out. Dun, 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 dun. I always like that part of Indiana Jones when they would have the airplane and they would like put it on the map. I think the second Indiana Jones movie is my favorite, The Temple of Doom. That's such a good movie. Kate Capshaw was so good in that movie, and Short Round, aka what was his name from the Goonies? Wasn't it Short Round in the Goonies also? Nah, it wasn't Short Round in the Goonies either. It was Data. Data, that's what his name was. Fucking Data. I got slick shoes. I got slick shoes. Slick shoes. The pinches of power. Oh, the pinchers of power. That was a great invention Data made, where it was just a set of fake teeth with with a coil, a spring attached to it. It's got to be so pretty living like on the coast like this. I would imagine that this would be like awesome to live. Awesome to live in a country like that. I don't know, man. Old Zealand, it went away. I think when the floods came, when the Book of Enoch was lost forever, and the great floods of Noah came, I think that's that got rid of Old Zealand. Now they got New Zealand. Oh look, Punani. Punakaki. I'm glad you agree, Eyeliner. I'm sorry, Eye Leveler. My bad. I called you Eyeliner by accident. Give me a break. It's Saturday night, man. Oh, you know what? No, the inverter doesn't need to be on. Well, you know what? Let's try putting it on and seeing if that does anything with our system here. I doubt that's going to do anything, but let's try it. All right, let's turn to the north. Nope. It don't do shit. All right, our cylinder head temperature still really hasn't dropped, so let's just open up our cowl flaps all the way. We can turn pitot heat off too. All right, we got to be pretty close to landing. Yeah, we're not too far away. See, and I bet you if we zoom in on this, it'll show us where the runway is too. All right, well, at least it doesn't really show us the runway, so that's good. I guess maybe if we chose a different map type it would, but I can't believe they gave us the whole route. That is so dumb. I really hope they didn't do that for the California trip. We might do the first leg of that California trip from Breckenridge to Maricopa and just see what it looks like. Alright, so hydraulics are working. Those were the flaps. I think cinematic mode is pretty cool with chase plane. I can't tell you the last time I landed an airplane like this with the wheel on the back like that. All right, I believe we're coming up. Oh, I guess not. I guess I didn't set the binoculars. I think right after this outcropping right here. I think that's where we're going to be. Nope. Never mind. No, we still got a ways to go. What are we passing now? 0.7. Punaki. Fly over the Punakaki River. Then pass over the inland of Dolomite Point or Dolomite Point. Just past Dolomite Point lies Punakaki. Pass over the Poro-Ari River and skirt the Poro-Ari Lagoon, which lies just inland of the Tasman Sea. They got a lot of big words in New Zealand. I wonder if Old Zealand had smaller words, because they got some big-ass words in New Zealand. Yes. Dude, I haven't watched Phil and I catch up on Snort Hogan, but I really lost interest in him, dude. After him cutting off Raw Phil like that, I just was like, man, you know what? I tried to get on Rumble and watch this shit on Rumble, but I just lost interest. Now, I might gain some interest in a week or two again, but I just can't stand him just begging all the time, man. It fucking bothers me. It bothers me that there's people out there that essentially he needs to send them a W-9 at the end of the year. You know, he's got like 2 people that pay all his bills. He needs to send them guys something so they can write it off on their taxes. Yeah, I watch Snort Hogan. I still watch Snort Hogan at night, so I get a good rundown of what actually happened. But yeah, I just lost interest in his ass. Especially, you know, like I heard like this past week he made like $2 grand in one night, or $2,000 in one day, and then like the next day he was back to just straight begging. And yeah, I think he is definitely, he's the kind of guy that you're going to probably see get arrested for some sort of stupid altercation at like Costco or some shit like that. Somebody will try to take a picture with him and he'll get all butthurt, and he'll just fly off the handle because he doesn't know how to deal with people. You know, he sits in his apartment all day and he has no idea how to deal with people in the real world. Oh shit, we're almost falling out of the sky. Let me increase our speed. I was increasing the trim and I'm like, why are we not climbing? We're just still sinking. Let me raise the props back up a little bit. All right, we're almost good for landing. Might try, I want to try either that Hawaiian one or the California one. I might do the California one because I know that one definitely does not use GPS. Yeah, that one and the Hawaii one. I'll try one of those two here in a moment. See if I can destroy this airplane on the landing. I haven't landed an airplane like this in a long time. It's been probably a couple of years since I've tried to land one of these kind of airplanes with the wheel, with a tail dragger. Yeah, I can see him losing it on a neighbor too. Something easy. Something easy that most normal people, they would just kind of blow it off. Or it wouldn't be such a big deal to a regular person. But I could see one of his neighbors making too much noise, you know, or doing something. Scratch his car. I tell you, I feel bad for Jasper. Actually, Jasper Kitty. I feel bad for Jasper because you know that cat's life is fucked. You can see by the way Phil pets him. It's like he's like bashing his head in. It's like that meme is real. Like he really did bash his cat's head like that. Alright, we should be landing right up in this area here, I believe. We may have to fly past the, a flat Virgin. Most Virgins are flat. That's wider Virgins. Them little postage stamp nipples. Not them, what did Martin Lawrence call them? Them big National Graphic areolas, and them big old National Graphic. What was that magazine that? Yeah, National Geographic. That's it. Yeah, I'm thinking of the right magazine. I wonder if this is really all farmland out here, or if it's like a bunch of houses. Maybe one day, if I really care that much, I'll look on Google Maps or Google Earth and find out. I thought I set a button for trim to reset the trim. Let me see here. Right control and okay. All right, let's try that. There we go. Supposedly it's now changed and set. Yeah, you remember them African women? Them African bitches from National Geographic? Every time I saw one of them on the cover, I was like, oh man, we're gonna see some titties. Free titties. We always had free titties at my house. My dad always had like the newest Playboy when I was growing up. He always had the Playboy calendar. He had the Playboy calendar, and he always had the magazines. Yeah, I was very accustomed to seeing pictures of naked women at a very young age, like 3 years old, 4 years old. I don't like that this airplane is like, I take my hand off the yoke and the airplane goes. I've been fucking with the trim all flight too, and it's still not really, you know. All right, let's put on our landing lights. Not that we really need them, but we'll just pretend. All right, there's some civilization. Oh shit, we're passing over our airport. Where's our airport at? Oh, there's our airport. All right, let's swing around and go for a landing. We'll pretend we're doing left-hand traffic. Let's go swing around and then we'll come back in. We'll land on the north runway over here. So we'll go down a little bit, down to like this point here, and then just follow the coast. Oh look, got a spot for business cards. That's cool. Oh, it went away. Nope, there it is again. Oh, that's for opening the window up. Alright, never mind. Alright, let's fix our hydraulics. Alright, now hydraulics are set for landing. Props forward. All right, we're almost ready to spin around. Let's flaps 1. Many level of flaps on this airplane. Let's put our landing gear down. Looks like there's something on this island over here. Like a little tower or something. Yeah, man, confiscate them bitches. Some of those magazines were probably worth some money. Like if my dad would have just like left one, like, because they used to come wrapped in like black cellophane, so you really couldn't see what it was when it was being mailed. If he would have kept that in the cellophane for like all the editions, man, I bet you I bet you we'd have a couple $100,000 in magazines. The internet killed Playboy, though. I think. Yeah, the internet definitely killed Playboy, because once the internet came around, you didn't have to look at a magazine to see titties. You could find them right online. Used to have that, and then used to try to watch the porno movies in between the white and black screen. You know, the screen at the end of the night where it was like all pixelated and just noise. Right, yeah, you could hear the audio just fine. Every once in a while you'd see like a leg, or you could make out a butt or something like that, but for the most part it was just all snow. All John Snow. Alright, where the hell is this runway at? I know I said we had to follow the coast, but I don't even see the runway now. Oh, I see it. Shit, we are way off. I was watching some of that Pan Am show that came out like 15 years ago. I was watching some of that last night. I'm like, man, no way that he would have made that landing, because the way they showed the aircraft in one of the scenes, it was like so far above the runway, but then they were landing on it. I'm like, no, that's not what would have happened in real life. There's no way. That is a pretty good show, though. That Pan Am show, I do like that show. Bunch of hot women running around that show. Margot Robbie, Kelly Garner, who's like one of my favorites. She played Marilyn Monroe in some sort of, I don't know what it was, some sort of TV show she did. Got Christina Ricci. Oh yeah, if you go on Caution. If you go on Tubi, you can watch Pan Am. It's got like 14 episodes, and every episode there it deals with the stewardesses and the pilots of Pan Am flying all around the world in the Boeing 707. Got the brakes on. Yeah! Gold star for Greg. Alright, let's check out this California trip. Okay, let's check this one out. I just want to see if this one's going to be gay as well, or if we're gonna have a map that shows us where to go, because if they do, that's fucked. Because this was always my favorite, because you had to use the ground to follow like where you were going. Like there was no GPS. It's a pretty scenic trip. Some of it's a little boring because it's through the desert, but let me just see if we have any GPS here. Yeah, Pan Am, I like that show. It took place like in the early 60s, like right before JFK got shot. Like he actually gets shot in one of the episodes, and then they changed the name of the airport from Idlewild to JFK. Some of it I think is a little far-fetched. Like some of the stewardesses were actually like secret operatives for the CIA. and shit like that. I'm like, man, did they really do that stuff back then? Like, maybe they did all that espionage stuff. Hang on. I don't have, we gotta pause this for a second. No, that's so gay! Alright, there's no sense of flying this. Look at that, they ruined it. I guess you could always delete the flight plan. Yeah, but it's still got the airport though. That's so gay. God damn it, Microsoft. You guys are ruining a wet dream. Alright, let's check out maybe one other bush trip. Danube. I don't know if I've done every single... I've done almost all of these. Let's see, any other cool planes we can fly? Pyrenees excursions always okay. South England into 208 character, that could be okay. The Alpine world of Switzerland, The X-Coat. Oh yeah, Vancouver also uses, there shouldn't be any GPS on there, but it looks like they're all gonna have GPS now, which is that's so dumb. Let's see, which one should we do? I think we should do... Oh, you know what I said I wanted to do last night? Let me go... I think it's this Pyrenees excursion. Let me see if this is the one that has that really tough landing. This might not be it. No, this one's not it. It was Bordeaux. No, it wasn't. Was it Bordeaux? I think it was Bordeaux to Mont Blanc. I think this is the one that has that really extreme landing on the side of a mountain. I think it was leg 7. No, not leg 7. Is it this one? Nope, not that leg.
On runway 21 remaining. 2,000.
Maybe it wasn't this one here. I want to do that one real quick. This one leg. Damn, I thought it was. Maybe it's not Bordeaux to Mont Blanc. It's definitely one of these, like in the mountains here. And it took place like in France. I remember it was in France. Fuck, man. I'll find it here in a moment. Is it, no, I don't think it was. No, it might have been this one. I don't think it was. No, it wasn't that one. Let me take a look at this Mont Blanc one again. Make sure I didn't miss it.
On runway 29 remaining. 1,000.
Okay, here's one of the landings.
Feet.
You have to land like on this grass strip, like right.
Remaining. 2,000.
I even forget where the runway is. Right here, I think. Right here is the runway. Okay, it might be this trip. Let's see here. Nine, 10, 11. Yep, this is it right here, leg 14. Alright, so from to Notre Dame. Okay, so it's leg 14. Let's try that. Yeah, this is a tough-ass landing here. Alright, let's start that. Oh, I can't start it from here? Oh, we gotta do all the legs? You son of a bitch. Alright, what's the first leg? I guess we could do some of this. I really want to do this landing. Well, you know, I guess I could just take off from this airport and land here. Notre Dame. Damn, I wish we could just go right to it. Let me see if I can just go right to it. Ah, here we go. Okay. I forget what airplane they were using. Hang on, let me go back and take a look. What airplane they were using for that. The Diamond Air, okay, DA40. Did I say DA40 NG? Yep. Okay. All right, Notra. Hey, yeah. All right, let's get the DA40. All right, that one, and let's take off. We'll take off, fly around, and try to come in for a landing again. I think this is the runway I'm thinking of, the landing. It is probably the hardest landing I've ever had to do. Second hardest landing. Well, maybe the first, actually. To me, this one's definitely tougher than anything at
Foxtrot Papa, Sierra traffic, PA 3369er.
No.
Taking off runway 1, departing straight out.
What the fuck, man? Hang on, let me turn off these voices. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna be taking off at night on this runway here. I gotta make sure this is the one I'm thinking of. I think it is. Let me see here. Hang on, I gotta set my controls here since I've never flown this airplane with chase plane. All right, I'm pretty sure this is... All right, let's take off. I'm pretty sure this is the right one. We should have taken off from the other runway. Oh yeah, this is it. There should be a house or like a little castle over here. Yeah, this is the bush strip one. Yeah, there's the little house. Okay, this is the one I'm thinking of. All right, flaps up. All right, let's fly around a little bit, and we'll try to come in on that little landing strip there. Ooh, that's a tough one. There's really not much you got to do in this airplane to, like, interaction-wise for flying, because there's no prop lever, there's no mixture, there's no failures, there's no hairline. Dude, my hair has been getting thin, boy. Woo! I still have a good head of hair, man, but man, I was watching some of my stream from the other day, and like you could see like the baldness, like when I had it parted in the middle. I'm like, God, oh no! To me, that's like the sign that I'm starting to get old. Like when my hair is starting to like go out. All right, let's spin around and see if we can make this landing happen. Yeah, this landing is really tough, and there's one that's earlier on this trip that, to me, it's almost as tough. You have a bit of a better landing angle, because this one it goes down and then up. The other one, you land and it just goes up the mountain. So you have, but when you land, you actually have to kind of match the angle of of the mountain. It's weird. It's weird. All right, let's start slowing down a little bit. Yeah, I don't think you could land on this airport at night, or even in bad weather. So really what you got to do is you got to come close to this house over here, or this castle, or whatever the hell it is. And then that'll should give you like the right kind of angle to line up and land. And again, this is not like I don't care about buttery landings on these trips. This is just about getting the airplane down without crashing. All right, let's put our landing flaps down, well, almost our landing flaps. Let's go one stage of flaps. Now, if I remember correct, coming in for landing, you kind of want to be almost stalled out when you're crossing over the tree line. Having a regular throttle is certainly quite a bit easier than pushing buttons, especially setting the throttle properly. All right, here's our mansion. This is where we send all the giraffes to, so we can groom all the giraffes for Mr. Grease. Permission to buzz the tower. All right, let's go flaps full. Start reducing our throttle. No, we are coming in way too fast. Yeah, it's too fast. Let's go around again. So we were too high in altitude. All right, flaps are back up. Since we're past that white bar. Usually in these kind of airplanes, that white bar on the speed, usually that's where you can either put the landing gear down or your flaps. Oh, we can see it up here too on the analog gauge. Usually that white bar is flap speeds. All right, let's put the first set of flaps down. This time we're not going to go over the house. We're going to skim the side of that mountain. I think we were a little too high before. But you really, when you're coming down, you really want to be almost at stalling speed when you're, at least that's how I've found a way to do this landing. Maybe somebody else has a different method, but For me, that's what I found. You don't like it? Oh well. Oh well. Such is life. Can't keep everybody happy. But that's not what they would do in real life. Really? Oh my god. I'm so glad this is not real life. It's the Matrix. Alright, flaps full. Alright, now I have the throttle off. Can't believe we're still picking up speed with the throttle off. That's fucking crazy. No, no! Damn it. This is what I was telling you guys last night. You'd fly up the side of the mountain.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
All right, let's go around again.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink. Don't sink.
All right. Maybe we'll get it this time. It's a tough little landing, man. It's fun. It's fun to try. I think we'll get it this time. Oh, you know what I should do also? Well, I guess it doesn't matter since it's mainly visual. I was thinking about turning off live weather. Because I have no idea what the barometric pressure is here right now. But that's alright. We'll pretend it's just like a straight visual landing. Alright, let's go take off flaps again. Let's raise our trim a little bit. Where's our trim? Oh, it's electronic. Okay. Maybe we can't land because we didn't put our landing lights on. Maybe that's why we haven't been able to land it. Let's try that. Maybe that trick will work. I tried watching Schitt's Creek today. I could not get into that show, man. I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be like a comedy and, you know, like over the top for, you know, like how people are, you know, from that part of LA, I guess. But man, that show was so annoying. And I like the characters too. It wasn't like the characters' fault. I just found it supremely campy, I guess is the right word. I just could not get into it. Yeah, we're still gaining speed. Ain't that something like that? Golly. All right, so we're at 5,200 feet. All right, let's go around one more time. Let's go around one more time. All right, flaps are back up. I don't know if the mountains would look like this time of year. Wouldn't they be kind of like covered in snow, you would think? All right, we got to raise our altitude up a little bit. All right, take off flaps. get to like 5,300 feet. All right, let's cut on the side of this mountain here. That way we're not too high. All right. We're almost at stalling speed. That's good. Again, this is not about landing pretty, it's just about getting down safely, especially at this airport. If you can even call this an airport. No, slow down, bitch! Fuck you, game. Jesus. Fuck, man. Yeah, and yes, I have tried landing on the other side. Like, I've tried landing the other way. It doesn't work. Oh yeah, 90s Star Trek is pretty dope, man. Portlandia? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Portlandia. I'm not familiar with that show. I like the Strain. The Strain is a good show. I don't know if you're familiar with that show. The Strain is a good show, I think. And then shit, what was that? What's the other show that I'm thinking of? I know you guys. I know it's like a rhetorical question, but shit, I'm trying to think of what else besides The Strain. There was another show that I used to watch a lot. That I used to like a lot. Besides The Strain, not like Game of Thrones or Oz or anything like that. It was a more recent show. The Expanse. Yeah, that show was pretty dope for a few seasons. Towards the end, I was kind of like, I didn't like the main character of that show. Comedy sketch. Oh, that's fun. I'll have to check that out. Portlandia? Never heard of it. Yeah, The Expanse. Yeah, that show was pretty good, The Expanse. I just can't stand that main character, man. That main character just seems like he's so just ugh. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, The Expanse was a pretty cool show. I liked the characters in it. I liked the fact that it was in space. Like, anything in space, I think is great. I just don't know why people still have, like, deep Irish accents or deep Scottish accents in space. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, there is no more Scotland or Ireland. Like, you're in space now. like, why do you still, like, sound like you're, like, straight from the motherland? Oh yeah, good sci-fi is always good. Star Trek. I actually, those recent Star Trek movies that came out are really good too. The ones with, anyways, the ones J.J. Abrams put together. I thought those were really good. Not so much the last Star Trek movie, but those first two, the one with Khan, and then that first one was really good. Nope, we're still coming in super fast. Fuck, alright, one last time we're gonna try it.
Don't sink, don't sink.
Fuck my life,
don't
man.
Sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't
That was the
sink,
episode
don't
tonight.
sink,
Oh, it was great.
Don't sink.
We were just doing
don't
laps
sink,
in France.
Don't sink, don't sink.
I think if I had my flight control system set up tonight, I think it would be quite a bit easier because I would have the throttle. I could actually set the throttle and see where it is. Here, I'm just kind of guessing where it is, just based on the sound of the engines. And also the RPM needle up here on the top left of the MFD. All right, if we don't land it this time, I'm not gonna sweat it. I guess maybe we'll just move on to something else. Yeah, I guess. I just don't want to give up. Like I've done this landing a few times. Like I don't want to move to something else until I at least land. But man, the way this plane just picks up speed is crazy. Like with the throttle all the way down, I don't think I should be gaining that kind of speed. All right, let's try it at a slightly lower altitude. Oh, what's that place called again? Oh, it's a sanctuary. Oh, that's cool. Notre Dame de la Soleil. Look at them putting all kinds of chemicals in the atmosphere up there, making clouds. That shit is real. I saw a video. Now it might have been an AI video, but I saw a video of guys in the military in like a C-130 or something like that, pumping that shit into the atmosphere. All that aluminium that they put in the atmospheres. Yeah, Microsoft that's right. They should make a simulator like that. That's funny. Microsoft Chemtrail Simulator. All right, speed is better this time. We're a little low, but speed is definitely better. All right, good enough. Wow. Well, you know, if we did that one, we should try the other one that's really tough on this trip. Let's, let me find out what the name of that airport is. Because there's another one. If you think that one is tough, let me show you the other one. All right, again, it was Bordeaux to Mont Blanc. And I want to say this one was like leg number 5 or 6. Yeah, this one here. So Castillon de la Laque.
On runway 2.
Shut up, bitch.
Remaining.
All right, Castillon.
2,300 feet.
All right, let's plug that in. There we go. And yeah, we'll take off on runway 3. You can barely, like, there's no runway. It's just the side of a mountain. All right, I'm going to turn live weather off as well. Now, you know what? Let's leave it on. It'll be more of a... All right, what did it say? 30.06. All right, let's set that then. All right, there's 30.06. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I got to set the... Oh, I already set it. That's right. We just flew this airplane. All right, brakes off. Of course, you would probably throw the throttle all the way forward first before releasing the brakes, but, you know, we like to make things tough here.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
All right, so when you come in for landing on this one, here we'll come around and and do it. You actually come from the valley out here, and then you come in through this valley here. It's a really cool bush trip. This whole one from Mont Blanc to wherever the hell we're at. All right, let's swing around here in a moment. It's a pretty cool, like, little village they have here. I just don't know what people do for a living when they work out. Like, when they live out here, like, what the hell do you do for a living? Like, is there a Walmart? Is there a Wawa? Like, is there a bank that you work at? Like, you're so far away from, like, huge cities. Like, what do you do? You're in the mountains. Like, all right, let's spin around here. We're going to skim some mountains on this one. All right, let's go flaps 1. And then when you come in for landing here, we got to go all the way like down the mountain here and swing around, kind of follow this road right here. I almost didn't stream tonight. I was really comfortable after eating dinner. And I'm like, nah, I told people I was going to be online. Like, I can't let scale bait down, man. There's too many times in the past where I said I was going to go flying and I just wound up falling asleep instead. Like, every time I'm off of work, I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to stream in the morning. And then I just wind up sleeping until like 11 o'clock. And I'm like, well, that didn't work out too well. All right, let's start spinning around. There's our runway over there. All right, let's go flaps full. I forget the altitude of the airport. I should have probably looked it up before we started flying, but... Oh yeah, we're really high for where we should be. I'm not going to swing back around on this one if we're too... Yeah, we're going to be too fast to land here. But yeah, here's the runway here. If you guys ever do this bush trip, the runway is right here. Right there. All right. Let's see here. What time is it? 10 something. Let me see here. Let me look at what we have for airplanes I haven't flown in a while. Let's see here. Let's see, what haven't we flown in a while? Or ever. And we got a de Havilland DHC. That's not a bad little airplane. Let's see here. We have the Embraer Phenom. We haven't flown that in a while. The Quasar is always fun to fly. Of course, I do want to try this F-27 again. We got hot air balloons. The Avro Vulcan is a beast of a plane, but I really forget a lot of how to fly that airplane. There's a lot you have to do to get that airplane going. It's been a minute since I've flown that thing. This is a great little airplane too, the Miltech Sims, the Osprey. This is a nice little plane too, this this Embraer Bandeirante. That's a really fun plane to fly. The PC-24 is really fun too. I don't know if there's been any updates for the A2A Piper. This is a tough decision. Oh, you know, they just updated this thing here. Which one? Let me see here. They just updated one of these two. Let me see which one they updated here. Maybe we'll fly that one for... This is a pretty nice airplane, too. If you like fighter jets, Azure Poly makes some really good airplanes. I have a couple of airplanes from Azure Poly. They do a pretty good job with those. Oh, you live in West Virginia? No shit. I used to go to college in West Virginia. I went to University of Charleston. I love West Virginia, man. That's such a beautiful... A lot of it's beautiful. I know there's a lot of rundown parts too, but yeah, West Virginia is really cool. Yeah, I just don't know, because you don't hear of Walmarts and McDonald's and shit like that, like at, you know, little towns in France. So that's why I'm just curious, like, what they do there, like, for work. Yeah, I've always told myself that once I can move away from where I live, I want to move to. Hang on one second. I think it's this. Which one is it? Let me see here. Okay, then let's check this one here. Okay, nope, wrong airplane. Okay, this could be it here. I think this is the one here. Is this the one that... Let me... Hang on. Let me go to the store. I always said I wanted to move to either like Montana or part of Wyoming. Somewhere I just need, like, for my job, I just need good internet. I want to move away from like civilization. I just want to do my job and just fly airplanes and look at mountains when I'm not working. I want to be able to open my blinds up and see blinds. All right, let me look up FS Reborn real quick. That was one of my favorite parts about living in West Virginia was the mountains. All right, FS Reborn. All right, is it, let's see here, FSR 300. All right, let's see if it was a Sting. Was it the Sting that was updated recently? Last update 7/29. All right, and then what about the... So it probably is the Sting that was updated. Oh, no. Okay, it was this one here. The Cirrus TL 3000. All right, let's jump in this airplane and see what it do. It's a not a fast airplane, but all right. So we have FL. Where are you at? You're down here somewhere. Where are you at? Here we go. All right, let's see what kind of configurations they have here. So GX3 and then GTN. We'll do the GTN avionics. They're a little more in depth. FS Blue Eagle. All right, we'll do Blue Eagle, I guess. All right, let's look at try to find a small little airport somewhere. Telluride. Here we'll go to Lake Tahoe. Alright, let's see what this airplane looks like. I haven't been in this airplane for a couple years, but when I was downloading the 707 the other day, I saw that this had a new update, and I'm like, you know, FS Reborn makes some pretty good airplanes. You know, they make that that new the new M600, which is good. The M500 from Piper is great. And they also made one of those new airplanes that came out, either the Embraer, the E55, or it was the other one that came out. I forget. They made one of the two that came out recently. All right, let me turn the volume on here. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm off of work tomorrow. All right, it looks pretty good. It's got our tail number on the back that we plugged in from the other airplane. All right, let me do this real quick. At least set up our shortcut. And let me do one for the outside here. There we go. All right, let's close the door. Oh, yeah. It's got their normal tablet here. That's cool. So all the realism. Oh, wow. Look how much it's got. This is just like the other airplanes they had. Yeah, tire wear and tear. Yeah, let's turn all that shit on. Must have engine stress damage. All right, let's make sure that's turned on. I think it's turned on already. Let's see here. Yeah, it's already turned on. Okay. All right, engine wear and tear. Let's turn all that on. I'm pretty sure this airplane flies from real life places. I wonder if I can find a flight that it flies from now. Let me see here. What the hell is this airplane called? The TL. Hang on, let me see if I can find this thing. The TL Sirius 3000 aircraft. What's the ICAO for it? Oh, you know what? I can just go to, I'll go right to FlightAware and we'll just type in the aircraft, see if anything pops up here. Oh shit, display capture is still on. Glad I wasn't showing anything I shouldn't have been. I didn't realize it was on the whole time. I don't usually leave that on the whole time. All right, TL. No. Yeah, I didn't think there'd be any flying this time of day. Maybe earlier today when it was daytime more in America. All right, no worries. We'll just make up a place to fly. All right, we'll leave that how it is. Settings. Gallons, pounds, nautical miles, PSI is fine. We can leave that on. Ballistic rescue system, that looks fine. All right, very good. Let's, I'm not too worried about navigation. You know, I guess we could set up a place to fly. I don't think we're going to make a whole flight, but let's just say we're going to fly to Reno. So let's go, the hell's the airport we're at now? KTVL. We could do, you know, we could go down to Yuma, Arizona and do some twisting and turning. We could do some, what's it called? Procedure turns. Maybe we'll do that after this. Yeah, I don't even, you know what? I don't even care about navigation. Let's just see how it takes off some flies for a minute. All right, so we have propeller, trim. All right, that's a prop lever. Heated seats, that's nice. Carbon monoxide system. I bet you this airplane has working circuit breakers. All right, so here's fuel over here. Here's our autopilot system. Here's our lights, our auxiliary fuel pump. Main, that's probably our battery switch. There's brakes right there. We have flaps. There's fuel left and right. There's the choke. Heating. Where is the, I wonder where the fuel lever is to switch fuel tanks. Oh, it's right there. All right, now will it give us a checklist? Let me see here. Sometimes you have to do the, sometimes you have to do the choke on these airplanes. All right, fuel shutoff is closed. All right, flaps are up, batteries off. Okay, that's all fine. All right, let's go outside and clear all the shit off the airplane. Should be all the shit. Let's see here. Yep. All right, let's see here. So, engine start. All right, harness. All right, all switches off. Fuel shutoff valve must be open. Throttle is closed. Battery switch on. Auxiliary fuel pump. Turn that on momentarily. All right, off. Ignition switches. That's a good question. Where the hell are the ignition switches at? I don't want to click on the button to help me. I want to find it. Oh, there it is. Come on, bitch. Move. Alright, so that now is on. What about all of our screens? Do I need to turn those on, or do they turn on? Alright, let's see here. Avionics. Alright, this doesn't work. That's dumb. That should work. Alright, that's that. It's flaps. Huh, wonder where avionics is. Oh, here we go. Instruments. That's probably it. Yep. Ah, it's got this screen. I like this one. This is what's in the Cub Crafter planes. They really did a good job updating these recently. Yeah, GPS, VOR.
TAWS system test, okay.
Flight controls, comms, transponder. Look at that. This is pretty cool. All right, let's go back. Let's see here. More options. Man, it's got a lot of options. That's cool. Ah, and you can use this as how to choose something. All right. Click on the screen. Ah, split screen, nav, audio. Okay, so you can just click right on the top of what you want. That's very cool. All right, go full screen again, and then over here we have our normal system here. Not very in depth yet. Yeah, checklist. There's no checklist. It's probably better with the Garmin system than this one in this airplane. Maybe a little airplane. All right, let's put our flaps down. Jesus. Oh, this must... Okay, so this is for transponder. I mean, for comms. I gave it full throttle and it... Damn it. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, I don't know. Maybe there's an engine run up we were supposed to do, but... Alright, let's release the brake. See if we can take off this time. I know we're not on the runway. It's okay. Sounds pretty nice. It's kind of slippery on the ground. Not bad little airplane. I don't know how much this costs. It's probably like 20 or 30 bucks for this airplane. Flies nice. Alright, let's reduce our prop a little bit so we're not blowing out our engine. It's not bad. It's not as in-depth as their other airplanes, but it's not a bad little airplane. All right, let's go. I want to do one more thing, I think, tonight. Let's go to Yuma. We're going to do some... We're going to do some procedure. We're going to do some DME turns. Yeah, this is it right here, Yuma. All right, I want to find one that's got analog gauges. I tell you what, let me jump on A2A's page real quick and just see if they've had any updates to either airplane. Because if they have, I might fly one of those. And I'm logging in right now. I don't think they've had any kind of updates recently to either airplane. At least that's what it looks like here. My account. Orders. Yeah, 499 downloads remaining. AccuSim Aerostar. Okay, yeah, they haven't come out with anything new, so, okay. Alright, let's look for something with some analog gauges here. Something not too difficult to fly. Probably choose something from the standard game. Something that's not too fast. Actually, you know what? Let me look up the... Let me go back to FlightAware and see what actually lands here. What's this airport again? K New York L. So your KNYL. It's probably like Cessna 172s and stuff like that. Yeah, Piper 28, TBM 7. PC-12, Gulfstream G1000. Oh, wow. Got helicopters. Yep, Eurocopter, Piper Cherokee, C208. Oh, it's got a caravan. Maybe we can. Oh. And it's got the CRJ7. I didn't realize CRJs fly there. That is very interesting. We might have to do one of those flights. Sky West from Phoenix to Yuma. That's interesting. All right. Very cool. All right. Yeah, we may have to do that one day. All right. Let's pick another airplane here. Yeah, maybe we will fly Cessna 172. We'll just fly a basic. Let's see here. Which one are we going to fly here? Not really sure what the difference is between these two airplanes, but oh my god, come on. Psychedelic. Oh yeah, this is the one that flies over Hawaii. I think it's this pink one. Yeah, I'm not flying pink. Fuck that. That's fucking butt ugly. Alright, we'll just do the default one. As long as it has autopilot, as long as it has autopilot, we're good. All right, let's actually, there's another airport we can take off from. You know, we'll just take off here. Let's then we're gonna pull up the chart and look at what we're getting ready to do. But yeah, we're gonna do some DME turns. And then coming for our ILS landing. I think I turned the sound off to the game, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. Hello, aircraft. All right, let's remove your nipple covers and your shoes. Of course, it doesn't make a sound. That's par for the course with a Sobo. All right, now I do not see autopilot on this one, so we're gonna have to grab the other one. Yep. All right, so let's grab the other airplane. So this is the one that doesn't have navigation. Sorry about that. I was taking a 50-50 chance. I was hoping I would have been right, but once again, I was wrong. Just like I've been wrong about a lot of stuff. Women, jobs, money. The right numbers for the lottery tickets. All right, let's go back and oh no, actually let's park right here. That way we're right next to the runway. All right, this one should be good now. But yeah, this landing is really cool. This is actually this is the airport I was learning when I was learning how to do DME turns for landings. This was always the airport I'd go to and practice. It's got a really good procedure turn. Zoom! That's the wrong verbiage on this kind of airplane. Oh shit! We got one that's already levitating. Look at that! Holy shit! Look at that park job. That's special. You gotta be really good at parking airplanes to do that, to get them motherfuckers to levitate like that. Shit. All right, let's take the gear off of this airplane. Get my nipple covers off. Take my shoes off. Does this one not have... I know one of these airplanes has to have autopilot. Maybe I didn't choose the right one. God damn it. I just want to fly a fucking airplane and do some procedure turns. Why is this so fucking hard? Alright, where's the Cessna 172? Here we go. That's the one we need. I don't care about the G1000, but let's see here. What you say? Skies and Stripes. I like that one. All right, this one should be good now. Third time's a charm, right? Oh, you know what we could have flown, actually? Hang on. Not to throw a monkey wrench in anything, but we could fly the Britain-Norman Trilander. Yeah, let's fly that one. Yeah. We'll just do the black box. That's the company that made it. Blue Islands, Great Barrier Reef, Seychelles, St. Bart's. Actually, you know what? Do we have an American livery? I don't think we do. Flamenco, Condair. G. Joey. Nope. And let's check this one. I don't think this one's going to have anything. Great Barrier Reef, Logan Air, Bush Pilots, Aloha Air, Rockhopper. Okay, yeah, let's just do the standard black box bitch one. I'm pretty sure I remember how to fly this airplane. It's been a little bit, but I'm pretty sure I remember. Oh, you know what? This is not going to have the never mind. This is not going to have what we need. It's not going to have the navigation system that I want. I want like the Cessna style one, the twist and turn. All right, let's configure. All right, cargo. All right, now we're good. Let's get ready for takeoff. Of course, if I had my system set up tonight, we'd probably be doing this in X-Plane right now. Just because it seems like, from what I understand, the airplanes feel more real in X-Plane. Might turn off say intentions here in a moment. Yeah, let me turn off say intentions. Give me a second here. This is not the one I wanted either. Motherfucker, man. Well, I guess we could use this one. I really wanted one with just analog gauges. Hang on, let me, I really don't want to use one, like, give me a moment. I know I'm, like, going back and forth, and I'm maybe seeming I'm kind of indecisive right now, but I really just want to use one with the gauges that I want. Alright, let's see, does this, pull this one? Alright, standard. I wish we could see the inside of the airplane. All right, Garmin, optional. Okay, no, that's not the one. Let's see here, Cessna. Skywagon. Let's see here. Standard instruments. I guess I'm going to be stuck with that one with the What about the Beechcraft Bonanza? Does that have See, I wish I could see the inside of these airplanes. Oh, you know what? You know what we can fly actually? Where's a Just Flight Piper airplane? The Piper P-28. We'll fly that one. Piper PH-28. Oh, I might not have it downloaded actually. Alright, you know what? I'm just... Oh, here we go. Turbo Arrow. Yeah, we'll do the Turbo Arrow. It doesn't matter. We'll do the Turbo Arrow 3. Yeah, we'll do that one. Alright, very good. Let's get going. Let's do this one here. This will have the gauges that I want. I'm very picky. I know what I want to do. I know what gauges I want to see. I don't want new gauges. I want old and dirty gauges. Them old dirty gauges. Yeah, man, I love me some fresh air. I don't mind the smell of cattle and horses and chickens and all that. I've been around that stuff before. I'm okay with that. I'd much rather smell that than smell, you know, a bunch of illegal aliens running around, fucking changing the country. You know, let me get my little slice near the mountains. Come on, bitch, let's go! Come on, Microsoft. Ain't nobody got time for this. Of course, it has been a minute since I've flown this airplane, but... Yeah, come on, bitch! Come on, come on! We might have to fly the other one. If it don't work... Actually, I think the game is frozen, actually. Yep, game is frozen. Ain't that a bitch? Yep, game is frozen. Hang on, I gotta Control-Delete this thing. I'll give you one more shot, Microsoft, before I kill you. Yeah, this bitch ain't working. Hold on, guys. Let me deactivate Microsoft Simulator real quick. All right, now let's relaunch it. I hear you. Thankfully, the part I live in Maryland, for years and years and years, we've always been looked at as a community of just rednecks and hicks, which is not true. But that's what people think of us because, you know, we live near the water and a lot of us have pickup trucks and we like guns and, you know, we like America. But lately, the cockroaches have been infesting the area. And it's not like it used to be, you know. Shopping carts are not put away anymore. That's a big thing. I hate when people leave shopping carts out for 30 years. Never, like I said, you know, I'm not going to complain like a bitter old man. You know what though? But I always said like my mom is still alive and I'm an only child, so I'm not going to move away to a different state right now when she's like in her 70s. You know, I got 2 kids. You know, that still kind of need me, you know, well, they definitely need me. They're, you know, young adults. But I've always wanted to just move away to a state where it had snowy mountains, clean air, not a lot of people. And for my job, since I work from home as an insurance agent, I really just need a good internet connection. That's it. I just want to open my blinds in the morning, turn on my shit for work, and just look out and see mountains. It could be a one-bedroom apartment for all I care, but man, living where I live, it is so expensive, man. Like, I'm usually one of the top producers at my job, you know, with you know, selling policies, and they changed the compensation plan. It's really good now. It was good before, but they made it better. And it's still super tough to make ends meet. It's fucking crazy. It's so expensive out there nowadays. I feel bad for people that live in other parts of the country, like Nevada, Michigan, Florida, Texas, New Jersey. You guys are getting crushed. You guys are getting some of what you deserve, though, for voting all them dumbass Democrats in the office for 30 years. Some of y'all are getting what you deserve for keeping on voting them in, but... Oh yeah, West Virginia's great. I like West Virginia. Like I said, I spent some time in West Virginia. I mean, I spent a couple years there at University of Charleston. Yeah, I could get down with West Virginia. I could live in West Virginia. Yeah, I'd be okay with that. I think I would like to be farther away from the East Coast. You know, because I worry about nuclear, you know, shit going on too. And man, where I live, we're only like an hour from DC. West Virginia's only like 3 hours. I think I'd be okay moving to like East Idaho, Western Wyoming, Western Montana, somewhere in that area. There's got to be another airplane with steam gauges. I should have just chose the A2A plane, because I know that one definitely has steam gauges. Of course, we could do it with digital gauges. We could have just done the CRJ. All right, let's try this airplane again. Oh, I hope it didn't change my settings. I really hope it didn't put everything back to where it was at before. Let me see here. Okay, that looks okay. All right, let's try the, all right, we'll try this airplane again. ANYL. We haven't even, like, gone over the chart yet. We got to go over the chart so we know what we're doing. All right, load in, bitch. Come on. I won't touch any screens this time, I promise. I won't touch anything. There we go. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, this is a great airplane from Just Flight. Now, I will say they make this airplane for X-Plane as well. I think it is so much better on Microsoft than it is on X-Plane. And I don't say that about airplanes often. Usually the ones on X-Plane I think are superior, but not in this case. This case, I think this one is way better. All right, let's get in this thing here. Yeah, steam gauges, bitch. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get our tablet set up here. So we have state saving.
State saving enabled.
GPS. That'll work. Cold and dark.
Cold and dark selected.
All right, let's remove the ties and chocks. Oh, I didn't. Hang on. I gotta set this real quick. Shortcut. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass doing this, but once you set it, usually it's done. But yeah, Chase Plane is probably the best overall app that I've ever bought. It's so handy. All right, now with the tow bar, I thought I could use the tow bar to move the airplane forward and back. Let me release the park and brake. Could have sworn that was the case. Maybe not. Maybe it's a different airplane. Maybe not. All right, it's got to be a different airplane then. All right, we don't really need the tow bar anyways. I was just trying it. All right, so let me get the chart up for our landing. Oh, son of a bitch. Hang on. Let me do this on my iPad, I guess. Garner. All right, Navigraph. Navigraph code. Sign in. All right, code is 95XXPYKA. XXPYKA. Okay, let's get this airport put in. Son of a bitch. Hang on, I gotta adjust this here. Settings. Where's the on-screen keyboard? Don't they have an option for that? Guess not. Oh, right here. AYNL. There we go. All right, let's close this. And I believe it's this one here. Yeah, here we go. You can also get a good on SkyVector or Vector. I think it's skyvector.com. But yeah, we're going to go out and I think we're going to go to Kovac first. And what we'll do is we're going to fly into Kovac. And then once we get here, we're 7 miles out from the VOR station. What we're going to do then is make a 90-degree turn. And we're going to do our best to keep at this 7-mile arc until we get to here. And then we'll come in for the landing. So yeah, that's what we're going to work on doing here. So let's get let me get that pulled up on our tablet here. And let's see here, arrival. All right, runway, what's this, runway 21, right? Okay, ILS, and we have Kovac. All right, now let's get our chart pulled up here. Very good, so now that's there. All right, let's get our pre-flight checklist here. All right, interior, parking brake. Set. Gear selector is down. Avionics are off. Mixture is lean. Props done. Magnetos are off. Battery switch on. Fuel quantity is full. Annunciator panel looks okay. All right, turn the battery back off. Flight controls, I'm sure, are fine. Oh, wait, we have a checklist right here. I forgot about that. All right, let's see here. Right wing, okay, that looks okay. All right, before starting engine, avionics switch off. Fuel increase. Okay, let's see. Our parking brake is on. Let's see, prop. We can move the prop all the way up. Okay, master switch on. Actually, we'll just do this checklist here. That's easier to see. All right, before engine start, circuit breakers. We should have checked them already, but they look fine. All right, alternate air is off. Prop lever, okay, and then tank selector. We can put this away. All right, we'll just put that on the left tank for now. Cold engine, all right, throttle, quarter of the way. Batteries on, all right, alternator, let's turn that on. Beacon light on. Navigation lights on. Fuel pump low or use primer. So let's put the fuel pump on low. Prop clear, our ignition start. Oh, mixture's got to go full lean as well. Actually, hang on, maybe not. What does it say here? Clear start. Oh, mixture when engine starts. Okay, very good. All right, so let's start the engine now. Alright, very good. So that's done. Just throttle to 1500. Alright, close enough. Alright, anything else on this list? Fuel pump low, that's fine. Okay, taxiing, landing light. All right, avionics on. All right, that's autopilot. I know the avionics switch is around here somewhere. All right, there's nav and GPS. Oh yeah, isn't it right here, I thought? Nope, that's that one. Where is the avion? I can't believe I forgot where the avionics switch is. Oh, you know what? That's right. We don't have regular avionics. That's right. They're already turned on. That's right. We don't really have like an avionics button. Of course, I mean, we can turn this on, but we're not going to be using it. All right, now the frequency that we're going to be using is 116.8, so let's get that programmed in. And our ILS is 108.3. So let's set that here. All right, let's get this turned on. All right, avionics are on. Let's put in 116.8 here. All right, very good. So that's all done. Taxi area clear, heading. Oh yeah, we got to make sure our heading is matched up here. So we are currently at like 125, it looks like. No, we're at like 116. So let's make sure that matches here. And it does not, so I'm glad we checked that. Let's get this fixed. Oh, you know what? Okay, that is correct. Okay. I'm thinking of it. There's we have a different airplane. That's right. The A2A Comanche. That one you need to line everything up. Okay. Let's see. What is our... Oh, did it have the flight info? Oh, look at that. Okay. What's the do we have... No, we don't have... Alright. Let's see if we can find it on here then. Alright, weather is currently 2991. Alright, that's fine. Alright, we don't need to worry about our heading indicator yet, or our CDI needle or anything. We'll get that going here. Alright, let's put these lights up. And let's put these lights up. And we have nav on instead of GPS, so that's good. Yep. Alright, let's taxi out to the runway. And then we'll do our run-up as we... once we get lined up, close to lining up, we'll do our run-up. Yeah, Just Flight, this is such a good airplane that they made here. Well, I don't know if they made it, but it's a good airplane, nonetheless. Not really sure where we are right now. Let's see here. Let's come over here. All right, let's park over here and let's do our run up. You know what? We'll just do it right on the runway. I mean, we're not really worried about traffic and other shit like that, so let's just do it. Let's just do it here. Oh yeah, being in a big you're right, being in a big population center is a huge risk. That's one thing I do worry about, is like if shit finally does hit the fan and the power goes out and people lose the internet. Like, I think if you live in a big area, like a big city, man, you are, or near a big city, you are screwed. All right, parking brake is back on. All right, ground check. All right, let's see here. Throttle, let's set that to 2,000 RPMs. All right, and then turn off both magnetos. one, and then check the vacuum gauges. Okay, so let's shut off this one. Okay, everything looks okay. Let's go back one more. All right, very good. So that's all good. Annunciators. All right, propeller exercised at full forward. Alternate air off, fuel pump off. All right, let's exercise the propeller first. All right, turn off the fuel pressure. The fuel pump. All right, battery switch, alternator, strobe lights, landing lights, pitot heat, landing lights. All right, that's fine. Mixture rich, flaps set and check. Trim is, let's see here. All right, that's all set for takeoff. Maintain axis. All right, climb. Do not exceed. All right, prop speed should be 2,500. Okay. All right, let's go. Airspeed's alive. Takeoff power is set. All right. We got positive rate. Let's put the landing gear up. Put our flaps up. We'll start heading to the west here in a moment. And I believe we need to get to what altitude? I think it's 7,000 feet. Oh no, 4,000 feet's okay. All right, so we'll go to like 4,000 or 5,000 feet. All right, let's get the autopilot put on. So autopilot on. Heading on. Oh, that's heading. Oh, heading is right here. Okay. Let's start climbing a little bit if we can. All right, let's turn autopilot off. That's not connecting yet. Let's level out our flight a little bit. All right, let's go now. Autopilot on. Let's try to raise our nose up a little bit. Okay, so heading mode is now on and working. us at 5,000 feet. So we'll level off here. Man, I think, you know what, you know what, out there in like the mountains out there in the west, I really do believe that they got like secret bunkers out there and all that kind of shit. I really do think that they got all kinds of bunkers and shit out there. Now, the fact that our manifold pressure is not really dropping is a bit strange to me. Like, this needle should be moving backwards. It's very strange to me that that's not moving back. We're going to get set up here in a moment for the magic. Why does it say an over ballast? That's weird. I think that's what that's saying. Over altitude reporter, vacuum, altimeter. Maybe that's why our manifold pressure is all fucked up. Okay, so let's go ahead and, so we have on our chart here, radial of 255. So the opposite of 255 is 75. So let's get 75 set up as our course. All right, so there's 75. And we are 17, oh, we're really 17 miles away from, oh yeah, I guess we are. All right, let's start heading north. I didn't realize we were so far away from the airport. I thought we were a lot closer. So what we do is, when we get the Kovac, we're going to turn 90 degrees to the left, and then we're going to keep on turning our CDI needle by 10 degrees counterclockwise, and we're going to be turning our heading clockwise. So then by the time we get to here, our CDI indicator should be at it's 253. It should be at 233, I believe. And then we'll turn into here. We'll switch over 108.3, and then set our CDI indicator for 211, and that should line us up. Let's get down to 3,600 feet. Sit here for a little bit. Manifold pressure is working now, and that error message went away. Whatever that was, over ballast. Might have been, we might have had too much fuel, or maybe our center of gravity was out of whack. All right, let me get our heading indicator set here. Oh, I can't do that just yet. That's right. Great airplane. What a great airplane. Yeah, tomorrow our stream's going to be another South by Southwest. I'm not sure if we're going to do the iFly 737 MAX or PMDG, because I think last time we did the one on X-Plane. So we might do the PMDG one tomorrow. That one just had an update recently. So I think we'll do that one tomorrow. It's been a while since we've flown PMDG. All right, let's turn. Now, you know, I do want to set. Hang on, I'm gonna go wings level, and then I want to set two more controls real quick for the CDI indicator, so I don't have to continually like go down here and like mess with it. Let's just level out our wings, and then we will. Now again, Kovac, that's going to be 7 miles. 7 miles out is where we're going to pick it up from. Right now we're 14 miles out. Still, we can see it right here. All right, give me a moment. Let me set up something for the CDI indicator. All right, what about course? Oh, that's not it. What about HSI? Bam. All right, let's autopilot. Is it under localizer? Nope. Wings level. You know, I can just type in, let me type in increase and see what happens. Okay, nav. Oh, here we go. Increase BOR OBS 1. Fast and slow. We'll try it this one first. All right, what can I set up for this? We will do S, and then we will do A for decrease. All right, now let's make sure we don't have them interfered with. All right, let's get rid of this one. Drone, slew, strafe. All right, so that's okay. And now let's do S. Okay, elevator pitch up. Let's get rid of that one. All right, that looks okay. That looks okay. All right, very good. So we should be okay now. Let's try moving our OBS needle and seeing what happens. Very good. Okay. Oh shit! No! What the hell happened? Something's wrong with our airplane now. It's like trying to roll over now. Damn it! Nope, still trying to roll over. Damn it, am I gonna have to start over again? I really hope not. It looks like it though. Maybe I'll just choose a different airplane. Jesus, God almighty. Yeah, something's fucked up with this airplane now. It just wants to roll over. No, that's what happens when you put something on pause, I guess. All right, fuck me. God damn. I just want to do a DME. All right, let's maybe that plane is not built for 2024 yet. Maybe that's part of the reason. All right, you know what? Let's just do the We'll just do the Piper 600. I know that'll work. Damn, that sucks, man. Yeah, I'm out of roll. That's right, I'm out of roll fluid. I used it all up when I was in the pause menu, and yeah, now we jump back into the airplane and fuck me. Good old roll fluid, man. I didn't, you know what? You're probably right. I didn't think about, refilling our roll fluid before we took off today. That's all my fault. Alright, let me get the chart pulled up here on Navigraph. I'll make sure I top it up on this one so we don't have that issue again. Yeah, that was the first time roll fluid got me. Oh, man. Alright, let's try this again. One more again. Let's try this one more again. Alright. This is A2A Aerostar 600. Let's get this cover off. Oh, never mind. That cover can stay on. Let's get this one off. Let's get this removed. It'll let me move it. Alright, let's remove our chalks. Alright, let's get in this thing and start it up. Shh. This might not have the gauges I want either. See here, controls. Good, no GPS. Okay. All right, let's okay, medium fuel. Yeah, we'll do medium fuel. All right, maintenance, inspect. Battery's got low voltage. Let's charge the battery up. All right, battery's now charged. Okay, that all looks good. We're going to use fine wire, oil grade. That should be okay. All right, that all looks okay. All right, let's go ahead and get our airplane started up. All right, flaps up. Everything there looks okay. Gear, flaps, magnetos. Okay, circuit breakers. Those all look okay. All right, let's see here. So engine startup. All right, battery on. All right, prop full forward. Mixture cut off. Throttle, let's crack the throttle. Battery on. Fuel selectors. Let's make sure we can hear them. All right, and all right, let's start up one of these engines here. Battery on, right fuel boost on, right mixture full. Okay, right starter engage. All right, 1,000 RPMs. All right, gyro pressure. Okay, everything looks okay. All right, let's get this engine on. Excellent. All right, engines are on. All right, right fuel. Okay, so we got to turn boost pump off. Put the alternators on. All right, warm up. Oh, we got to turn the avionics on at some point. Surprised avionics are not being turned on yet. No, I'm going to turn them on now. And beacon, nav. All right, avionics master, let's turn that on. Trim on. Turn on all this stuff. All right, we have ground speed here. That's fine. All right, let's put in 116.8. And we had 75 as our course. Wait a minute. I just felt the airplane move when I was doing that. Hang on a second. Maybe that's why we rolled over. Hang on, maybe that's why we rolled over. Nah, that couldn't have been it. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, let me go out. We still have chocks on the outside. Exit. Okay. Let's get 75 set up again. I swear I see the airplane moving when I do that. All right, warm up, throttles 15, throttles for 2100. I'm not worried about running it up. Let's just get out of here. All right, let's set our flaps. All right, blower on. Controls. Cabin vent. All right, let's give this a whirl. I probably could just take off right from here instead of going to the runway. Flight info. 24 and 24. Okay. All right, let's give this another whirl. French vanilla swirl. Let's just take off right here. All right, let's see here. Flight director. All right, let's go. Alright, takeoff power set. Airspeed's alive. And rotate. Alright, gear up. Flaps up. Let's reduce our props to about 2400. And let's reduce our manifold pressure to about 2400. Let's go heading mode. Autopilot on. And let's continue to climb. Let's use our... Oh, we can use this pitch trim here button. We'll use that to climb. Alright, why are we not going into heading mode right now? Somebody want to tell me something I'm missing here? Oh, autopilot's not on, that's why. Alright, autopilot's now on. Alright, we are at 24, that's good. Alright, trim 122 to 160 knots, that's where we're at. Elevator, gear up, flaps up, wheels up. Alright, that all looks good. Alright, cabin temperature is dropping down a little bit. That's good. We'll keep our passengers happy. Turn the auxiliary hydraulics off now that the flaps are up. Alright, let's head on out. Alright, we should have better luck this time around. I should have just chose this airplane at first. I was like, well, maybe not. Oh, look at that. I didn't realize that was up there. Our outside air temperature is pretty dope. But yeah, this is another airplane from A2A Simulations. They're the ones that make the Piper Comanche, the PA-24, which is like probably the best GA airplane in the whole simulator. If you want to use this to lean out your fuel, you certainly can. We're not going to be too worried about that since we're not really getting up to any kind of high altitude. We might play with it for a few minutes, but... Alright, let's engage altitude. Let's reduce the fan a little bit. I thought this was the one where you could scroll and make it louder or softer. I guess not. There's one of these airplanes where you can highlight, it might be the Piaggio, where you can highlight the headphone jack and you can use your wheel and the mouse to scroll and it'll make it louder or softer. Alright, good. So we're at 79 degrees. Let's go ahead and do that. And we will turn that off for now. Alright, let's get our chart here so we can see what's doing. And we got about 393 is our what's it called? Decision height, 393. I don't remember if there's, I'll have to look. I don't think there's a, boy, I'm like losing my mind right now. I just had a complete brain fart. I don't think there's a radio altitude setting here where we can set our decision height. But yeah, if you're looking for another general aviation airplane that's really good, it's got failures, it's got working circuit breaker, this is a great airplane. I don't know if it's worth the money yet, but it might be worth the money. I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know if it's worth 40 bucks. All right, why is my heading button not working now? Hang on. Yeah. God, I hate going into pause. Jesus, I hope we don't have any issues. Yeah, increase heading bug. Why is that not working? Oh, well, wait a minute. No, it should work. Now it's working. So dumb. Why didn't it just work before? So again, when we get lined up, we're going to then turn our heading bug 90 degrees counterclockwise. But we're going to keep on turning this indicator here, the CDI indicator, we're going to keep on turning it clockwise. So we'll go from 75 to 85 to 95 to 105. We'll keep on going around and around and around until we get our indicator to 233. And then once we get to 233, then we'll make our turn towards the ILS. We'll switch over frequencies. We'll switch it to 108.3. I don't think I've ever used this before. All right, 255 radial. Oh shit, we missed our turn. Let's spin back around. I wasn't even paying attention. hopefully that doesn't raise the temperature of our engines too much by pulling the fuel back. It's got that little point on the end of the tail, just like the 707 does. All right, let's swing back around now. Let's get lined back up here. And then we got to, once we get to about 8.5 miles out, we'll start making our turn to the north. Right now we're 17.6 miles out. We should be a little bit, well, I was going to say we should be a little bit lower, but I think I'm going to leave, yeah, I'm going to leave the altitude alone for now, I think. You know what, actually no, we'll go down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit. We are almost aligned. I'm going to put this on nav for now. And we'll switch over to heading mode once we get lined up. And once we get pretty close, we'll switch over to heading mode. Alright, we'll leave it here at 4,000 feet. Why is the throttle not working? There we go. When you are using these A2A airplanes, you want to try to get these pipes as close to green as possible. So that usually means playing with the prop levers, playing with the mixtures. See how it just went really dark, dark, dark? That's not what we want. We want it to be pretty close to like a light green as possible. orange is okay too. That's not going to damage the. But yeah, black smoke is okay. Whoa! What happened here? Is it really that windy outside that we are that far out? Holy shit. Let's go into heading mode. Oh, it's because we're in approach mode, motherfucker. I don't know how that switched over. That's weird. I might want to swing around again and get realigned. Yeah, let me swing around again and get realigned. Not sure how that happened. That was so strange. It just went into approach mode all on its own. We'll go out a few miles and then swing around. Oh, wait a minute. I think we are misaligned here. Alright, let's head west. That's why it was fucked up. I didn't do the one thing I said we should have done, which was set our heading indicator, our CDI indicator, to match our actual direction that we're going. Alright, let me get this going west, and then we'll get the bottom there fixed. I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a moment. That's why navigation was off. Alright, we're almost west. Okay, so we are looking at 250 to 60. So let's get that set here for 260. Yep, that's what we forgot to do. All right, I hope that's fixed now. I might have to go into just regular roll mode. So that's 21. All right, let's just go into, well, I guess I can't. All right, so that's 220. 21. and we should have done this on the ground. Alright, I think we're pretty well aligned now, or at least pretty close, so... Alright, let's swing back around now. Should be okay now. Yeah, we're looking much better now. I was looking at Navigraph on my iPad here, and I'm like, why the hell are we like going that way when we're going this way? And I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, we forgot to set the... Yeah, anytime you fly an 828 airplane, whether it's the Comanche or this one, you have to go down and make sure this indicator is correct. Otherwise, you're going to be just having a horrible, horrible experience. Alright, so we're heading 50 degrees. It's pretty close. It's close enough for me to be happy. Alright, let's get aligned a little better. All right, 3 hours later, and we're getting ready to do our first DME turn. Sorry about that. I had no idea it was going to take this long to do this shit. What a boring fucking stream this has got to be. We ran out of roll fluid. All right, we're 9.9 miles out. We're going to turn once we get to about pretty close to like 8.5 miles. And the name of the game is trying to keep this DME indicator within about a half a mile of 7 miles. All right, let's start turning. So we're going to turn about 45 degrees, and then we are going to move our indicator 10 degrees. Our yellow indicator, so now that's at 75. Oh no, 85 actually. And if we start falling below 7 miles, then we just need to stop turning so much. If we go above it, then we need to start turning more. Oh, yeah, zombie mode. That's cool. Yeah, I like listening to folks and just kind of zoning out too. All right, let's work on getting this closer to 7 miles. Oh yeah, we are off. Let's turn in a little bit more. Oh, you know what? We should have turned 80 degrees instead of 90. That's my bad. It's been a while since I've done these. All right. Well, we're still within a mile. That's good. We wouldn't be passing any tests right now, but... turn in a little bit more. Once that CDI indicator centers up, then we'll move it another 10 degrees. All right, another 10 degrees. And then we should get down to about 3,000 feet. So let's descend to about 3,000 feet. All right, we're descending in slowly, which is fine. It's not a race. Let's turn our CDI indicator 10. Let's turn this 10 degrees now. And if you want to see the chart, here's our airplane following the path right now. Again, like I said, once we get to 233 on the CDI indicator here, that's when we're gonna make our turn to the airport, which is on frequency 108.3. I found a little trick with doing these turns, which helped me remember which way to turn the indicators and all that. I'll share it once we're on the ground there. Or once we're aligned. But essentially, if the arc is clockwise, you want the CDI needle to go clockwise, like we're doing now, and the heading indicator initially goes to the left. And then if you're making counterclockwise, then you want the CDI needle to go counterclockwise. All right, we're at 7.5 miles. Let's tune in a little bit. Let's turn in. We're almost at 3,000 feet. All right. So now our CDI is almost at 180. Let's double up our heading there to get closer to 7 miles. Like I said, anytime you're too far above the DME, you want to make more of a turn. I usually go in like 5 degree or 10 degree increments. You can do what you like, but that's what I do. All right, CDI indicator is now at 185. I'm sorry, 195. And again, once we get to 233, that's when we are going to be swapping over and lining up for our ILS. All right, so since we're now going underneath 7 nautical miles, I'm not making any more turns with the heading for now. We're just gonna look at our CDI indicator, and then once we get a little bit over 7, then we'll start playing with our heading again. All right, we can put on altitude hold. What the hell? How come it's not working now? All right, I'm just going to set this for 233 now. once we get there, then we'll make our final turn. And we got to put in 108.3, I believe. And then Alright, so that is starting to come alive. So now let's go ahead and do 108.3. And let's move this to 211. And now let's turn so we can line up on our ILS. If you look at our chart, you'll see where our airplane is right now, turning in. Let's go into approach mode. All right, localizer has now been captured. You can see the airplane turning. Glide slope is getting ready to capture. We're about 10 miles out. Glide slope is getting ready to capture. There's the runway right in front of us. All right, glide slope has now been captured. Let's put our landing gear down. Let's put our first set of, oops. I guess there's only one set of flaps. That doesn't make sense. There's got to be... Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, let's go prop all the way forward. Mixtures all the way forward. Auxiliary hydraulics are on. Once we get a little closer, we'll put flaps down full. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a DME turn. That's what you got to do. If you're going clockwise, make sure the CDI indicator goes clockwise. We'll review it real quick after we land. And then we'll call it a night. Then I'm going to look at what kind of South by Southwest flights we're going to do tomorrow. Got to find a good one. A good one. And I got to get the VST filters set up on OBS. I might do that before I turn everything off tonight. Just get the filters set up first. See what Grok AI has to say about these filters. I usually use either Grok AI or Microsoft Copilot to help figure out where to put all the different levels for the different filters for the airplanes. I'm not using any filters tonight. Oh shit, what is going on here? Wow, we must have hit a pocket of air or something. All right, autopilot off, my control. Oh yeah, it's definitely windy here. All right, once we pass this little development area here. When we get closer to like this area right here, I'm going to go flaps full at that point. But yeah, we must have hit some air, man, because we almost got, or autopilot almost got knocked out. Let's trim down a little bit. All right, we're almost ready to go flaps full. All right, let's turn auto trim off. All right, almost ready for flaps full. Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps. All right, flaps full. Hey, anything under 300, I'll take. All right, so let me stop and I'll show you what I'm talking about with these this chart here. Okay, so anytime, and there might be a different way, but this is how I learned. So, like, we had this DME here, right? We're making clockwise turns, right? So you want your CDI needle to go clockwise around with it. That way, when you end up at the point where you got to turn, you'll be almost aligned properly with where you're going. So, like, if we would have done this the other way, like if we would have left it at 255, the CDI indicator, and then when we got over here, we would have been at 53, and we would have had to spin it all the way around to get to 211. So you want to turn your heading 80 degrees, or you can use these little dots here. Like if you're looking, like if we're heading on a 220, you could use like this dot here. Sometimes you can use this dot, but yeah, turn it 80 degrees into the arc. And then once the CDI indicator lines up, that's when you move it 10 more degrees clockwise. So since we were making clockwise turns, we were turning this clockwise. And then really just using the heading indicator to make sure we stayed within 7 miles. Yep. That's about it, my friend. So I could have sworn that we had another Southwest airplane tucked away in here. Let me see here. Now, let me see what update, because PMDG just had an update on their 737. Let me see if I can find out what this update was about. Oh, come on, bitch. Damn, is it after midnight already? After midnight, we gonna let it all hang out. After midnight, after midnight. All right, PMDG. All right, options. Yeah, last update. I guess I could just go on their webpage and find out. But I think we're going to fly this tomorrow. You know, I didn't check yet and see if Boris has any kind of update. Oh, dev mode. Hang on, we got something here. Ah, new SDK update available. Okay, so let's download this. Let's see here. Added new travel book debug. Added combo box. WASM memory. Improved governor controls. All right, yeah, let's download this. I'll update that offline. Alrighty, my friends, I will see you tomorrow. I don't know what time I'll be on. I always say I'm going to be on in the morning. It never works out. I wind up sleeping in, which I'm allowed to do. I'm an adult. If I want to sleep in, I'm going to sleep in. If y'all don't like it, too bad. Too bad! Too bad! I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Alright, I'm out. I'll be back, but I'll put it on Discord and I guess YouTube as well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Nobody pays attention to it. But I'm still going to do it anyways. But yeah, we're going to get down with a little South by Southwest tomorrow. Probably PMDG, since we haven't flown that in a while. I have to look. I don't remember if we flew the iFly more recently than PMDG. But I have a couple of choices I can do here. We have the regular PMDG, and then we also have the iFly Max as well. Oh, you know what? I meant to fly. You know what? We might do iFly tomorrow because I wanted to fly the this 1776 one last time, and I didn't wind up doing that flight, and I really like this livery, the 1776. So yeah, if we can find a good one, we'll do that tomorrow. I'm gonna be searching tonight for flights. You know how I nerd out on FlightAware, so. All right, my friends, I will see you on the next episode. The Airplane Show. Be good and hit like, subscribe, become a member, and that's about it. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Mama, for watching as well. I love the food she cooks. She's a fucking hell of a cook. Yeah, she is. All right, see ya. See ya.